Hi, Stacy. Hi, Cheryl. Hey, this morning we're going to talk about, a couple of things. Procrastination and the tiniest little shift for a breakthrough. The tiniest little shift or a breakthrough. So I'll do it later, or maybe one of my team will do it. Stacy's done it before, but I want to reference the book by You2 by Dr. Price Pritchard. Hey, Craig. Played golf yesterday with Kale and Mouse, Craig. Anyway, You2 by Dr. Price Pritchard is about, it's basically the story of this fly who keeps like beating his head against the window, trying to get out. And he's inches away from the open window. But he keeps going after the same routine and the same old. He keeps beating his head against the wall until he finally just moves over an inch, flies right out the window, right? So what we're talking about today is the moving over an inch, just the shifting, the slight pivot, if you will, and create a breakthrough. And then part of it's about procrastination, right? So you probably don't know what this is, so I'll tell you. That is a 4-inch exhaust vent for a Wolf stove. A 4-inch exhaust vent for a Wolf stove. Now, here's where I've been beating my head against the wall for 16 years. So I've had this little cabin on this little ranch for 16 years. And I don't know why I put a Wolf stove in it, because all I do is fry stuff or eat vegetables and salads. But anyway, I got a Wolf stove. And every time I fry something, the fire alarm goes off. Why? Because the fan can't keep up with the stove. Now, I've known for 16 years that the fan can't keep up with the stove. And I wonder why the fan can't keep up with the stove. I wonder if it's blocked. I wonder if it has a restriction. I wonder if the fan's too small. And I've gone outside and I've looked at that vent on the outside wall, and I've looked at it and looked at it and looked at it. Of course, I don't know anything about vents. 16 years. Do you know how many times the fire department has actually driven the 10 miles to my house, loaded up the truck, lights, sirens to the house? Why? Because I got a alarm system on the house, and when the fire alarm goes off, it automatically calls the fire department. And, they call me, and my phone can be in the car or in the ATV or in the bed, or who knows where my phone is, right? So I don't answer my phone. So the fire department comes. And, of course, I just wave at them and say, sorry, my fan doesn't work very good. 16 years, folks. And today, Rob, my buddy here in Oakhurst, is digging some trees, some holes for some new olive trees, old, 100-year-old olive trees that I'm planting in the yard. And so we're taking a little break, and I said, hey, Rob, because it did it this morning. I mean, the fire alarm didn't go off, but I was cooking something this morning or last night. And I said, Rob, is that the right size fan? That's the question. I finally asked the right question. 16 years later, I asked the right question. I said, is that the right size fan for a Wolf stove? And Rob, who is a contractor, he just looked up at it for a half a second. And he said, no, that's a 4-inch. You got to have at least a 7-inch. So this is where somebody who has the experience, they have the wisdom, they have the distinctions. So for me, an exhaust fan is an exhaust fan. The fire department either comes or they don't. If they don't come, it's a good exhaust fan. If the fire department keeps coming, it's not so good of an exhaust fan, I think, or something's wrong, right? But Rob only has to look at the exhaust fan. I mean, just the vent, not even the fan, just the vent, for a nanosecond, and he knows it's a 4-inch vent, and he knows for a kitchen 4-top stove, you got to have a 7-inch vent. So with Rob's help, and they're asking the right question, I just moved over an inch and quit hitting my head against the window and flew out the window. Rob's going to get me a 7-inch vent, and he's going to install it, which is going to take probably all of 30 minutes. And I took that vent off in all of 30 seconds with 4 Phillips head screws and an electric screwdriver. Boom. The vent's off. It's all clogged up with grease and stuff for 16 years. Right? So, folks, these are the kind of breakthroughs that, when you're frustrated, when you're beating your head against the wall, when you got a problem and you haven't solved it, what I encourage you to do is just be relentless about asking the right question. Just keep asking the right question. And just keep asking a question. And even if you get the wrong answer with the question, that's a good question, because process of elimination, you eliminated that question and answer. Keep asking questions, and keep asking people that know more than you. And keep, having the fire department come. That's good too, right? Because it keeps you focused on, hey, this isn't working. Anyway, that's the lesson of the day. If it's of value to you, share it. If not, delete it and don't ever come back. And if you haven't read the book U2 by Dr. Price Pritchard, I encourage you to watch it. This is Daily Dose of Salt, Saturday, like 2:30 in the afternoon. It's only 5 hours late, but hey, better late than never.